Let me record. Okay, you guys. First off, if I haven't had an opportunity to meet you all yet, which I don't think I know I've talked to a handful of you. And if people are watching this on the replay, my name is Kelly, and I just help like post and sort of in the community. I'm not connected to Rachel Hollis company or anything like that. I have been on their book influencer team. So that's been super fun to sort of see the inside of that, getting books a few months early and sort of seeing the back end process of how they bring books. So that's been super cool. But really, truly, like why I was like, let's get on and do a Zoom together is because this is my personally my third year doing the last 90 days with Hollis Company. So we've had this community, but I'm like, you know what? We've never truly like gotten together to get to know each other like face to face. And right now with the pandemic and everything going on, I think that it'll be even more of a challenge. So I hope that you guys will stay committed and like jump in here with me, even if it's just like the 6 or 7 or 8 of us hanging out. I need you. I hope that you need this too, or you probably wouldn't have shown up. So please feel free to like unmute yourself and talk. I certainly don't want this to be like me just talking at you or like asking questions. This is your community. And I will definitely like help lead sort of some discussions and we'll just talk about it. But really, truly, we're going to try to do this. Like, I'm definitely committed to doing it through the month of October. And if we have participation, I will definitely host and provide the space for us to meet all the way through the last 90 days. So I hope you guys will join in and tag your friends and invite people. But really why we're all doing this is, you know, to better ourselves, right? To stay committed to something, to challenge ourselves, to finish this last 90 days. And I want to know, like, either like type in the chat if is this your first time or second time or third time? How many times have you done the last 90 days? I'd love to know that. I think that would be fun. And then where you are from. Like if you don't want to give the specifics, you don't have to, but like where you're from. Hi, Amy. Thanks for hopping on. Like where you're from. So first time Florida. Oh, I love it. First time Arizona. Second time Rhode Island. This is so good, you guys. I love it. Yes. Awesome. First time actually doing it. I know. Isn't it funny, Jen, how we like do things, but we don't really like do it. So I've been through that too. I mean, oh, I love it, you guys. This is so great. So great. All right. Well, this is great. Second time. Awesome. Well, I live in South Carolina, like right on the border of North and South Carolina. And like I said, this is my third time doing the challenge. But actually, personally, when the first time I did this challenge 3 years ago, I just started implementing 90-day challenges in my life like all year. So I feel like I'm constantly like 190 days in, I take a break for a week and I jump back in. It's not all just like this, but if you love this is your first time, like it's a really cool concept to apply to your life, like your first 90 days of 2021. So, so this is basically how this is going to work. And those of you who have recommendations, who are like, Kelly, this would be so fun, y'all, please message me. Like, we've not done this before in this community. We did a book club. Some of you may have been a part of the book club. We did it earlier this year when Dave Hollis's book came out, and it was so fun, you guys. He came on our book club twice. The very first night he surprised us, and that was really super cool. And then later, about 4 weeks into the book club, he came on and like we got to ask him questions. This was before they announced their divorce, but we got to ask him a lot of questions. So I'm going to try to get him on. Try to get him on again. We'll see. I know this is more Rachel's thing, but I know he's doing it. So if you guys have any ideas or have any connections, or you're like, I really want to share my heart or like co-lead or something, please just reach out to me. Like I'm completely open and want to really help everybody. So did everybody get the workbook? Thank you, Jen, so much for hooking me up with the workbook. I didn't get the email. Did y'all get this vision workbook?
No. Is that the PDF you just posted?
Yes.
Thank you. No, I hadn't gotten it yet. So
okay, well, I didn't get it either, but Jen hooked me up.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, and so I was like, I'm going to try, you guys, to post on the community the emails, because this is what I do know is that a lot of people don't receive the emails. And we don't want that in the community. Like, so anything you guys post or anything that you can help out or, anything like that, please feel free to do. I just started a unit inside the community. So if you don't have it, you can find it there. And then a screenshot, the email that came along with it that Jen sent to me. So, Jen, we so appreciate you for helping everybody out. Yeah. So print out the little workbook. Basically what it is, y'all, is it's like casting your vision, really like diving into your goals. But really this very first week was all about our why and really knowing our why. And so there were some questions that they had inside, and I just thought maybe we could just chat about this. Open discussion. So, let me see here. There's a bunch of people in the waiting room.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay. I got to try to like keep up with that. So, welcome everybody hopping on. Thanks for joining us. All right. So you guys just speak whenever you have what you want to share on your heart. So the very first question inside the email was 6 months from now, who do I want to be? What can I start doing today to help me become that person? So if anybody wants to share, I'm tossing it out there to you. Don't all jump at once. You're so polite.
I just started reading it, and I love this accountability thing because I seriously carry this around with me, but do I open it as often as I should? No. And so I'm glad because I was like, okay, 7:30, I'm going to sit and I'm going to think about it. And then I saw that you had uploaded that. When I think of 6 months from now and I look around, I want to have more peace in my life. And so for me, peace means like space. So it's hard sometimes, like in between seasons, I'm like, oh, I'm going to decorate for Halloween. I got to get ready for Christmas. And I get lost in the stuff. And then there's just stuff all around. And then I keep going to something else. So peace for me is kind of focusing on one thing at a time and just making that space. I guess someone was saying the other day, I read somewhere about protecting your peace. And sometimes with school projects and kids and things, you don't really protect your space because all of a sudden the dinner table becomes like this zone of drop off and the bathrooms and all that. So I'm realizing that as much as I'm kind of like a chill person, like, we have a house that looks like it's lived in, it does affect your peace. And so I just want to be better about that and have different zones for things and make a list of what I need to do. So 6 months from now, I really do want to have a place for everything because I've heard that makes a big difference when you just don't put things somewhere. It's when like this goes here and then this is where it'll always be. And I know by doing those habits for myself, I'm modeling a healthier, more peaceful way for my kids to have those habits. So tiny habits leading up to 6 months where I know where things are. I can come into the house and feel happy instead of thinking of all the things I have to do. So for me, that's peace right now and what I'm working towards.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. I think everybody could benefit from that in their life, right? Like more just overall peace, and one of the things that you could do, Jessica, is just brain dump, like visualize how that piece looks in 6 months and just brain dump everything and then map it out for yourself, because I know a lot of times when we'll set goals or when I've done these 90-day things, it's like, oh, I see that, but then it's 45 days in and you're like, oh crap, but I've only like accomplished 10% of it. Whereas if you map it out now while it's like fresh and you're like, yes, I want this. And you map it out. Okay, every week I'm going to get these 2 things done, these 2 closets or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you can sort of like keep track of it.
I like that. It's a good idea.
I don't know. Yeah. So who else wants to share? Or has suggestions or anything that has been through peace finding with Jessica?
I know I'm really good at the Target drive up and I'm like, oh, let me get some things. And then I'm like, oh, I bought this or I bought that. Where do I put it? And all that. So that can get a little crazy.
Yeah, so true. So does anybody else want to share where they want to be in 6 months from now?
I'll share.
Go for it. Thanks, Marlene.
So my name is Marlena.
Marlene.
My mom did that to me. I don't know why she did. That's what she did. It's been like a lifetime joke she's played on me. But so 6 months from now, I always have a plan for 6 months from now, but I've had a lot of 6 months in my life now. And I mean, I've made progress, but you could be a totally different person. I mean, I think my thing is just to get out of my own way and not let fear stop me. And so in 6 months, I think I would like to start a business. I could stand to lose 30 pounds, these are all doable things. So, I mean, like, what is stopping us from these things that we can do? I don't know. So yeah, 6 months from now, I'd like to start a little business, be healthier, a better example for my kid, appreciate what I have now. It goes with the gratitude, which I do. I practice gratitude, but to really dive more into that, I think. So that's where I'm at.
Have you read Dave's book, Get Out of Your Own Way?
Yeah, I got through about half of it, and then I have, like, the books are everywhere, but
yeah, it's a good one. It's like one of those books I think you can read chapter by chapter and sort of take away a life lesson from each. So,
yeah,
all doable. Well, I hope you accomplish some of those things this 90 days. Who else wants to share? So those of you who just joined us, thank you guys. We're just talking about the first question that was in the email. And if you didn't get the email, we just posted it into the group, and it's in the first unit. There's only one unit, but it's 6 months from now. Who do you want to be, and what can I start doing today to become that better person? So if anybody else wants to share. You don't have to. Don't feel pressured. Or maybe you just want to share why you're excited about the group, or like maybe you have questions.
I'll share why I'm excited about the group. So my name is Jen, as you can tell on my Zoom thing. And it's hard for me right now to like imagine where I might be 6 months from now, or even try to put a plan together, because the last 6 months were so crazy. And then the 6 months prior to that, this time last year, I was starting a brand new career. I had just accepted a job, and I had this whole like 5-year plan. And then when COVID hit, I was working in a school, and the school closed down, and I lost that job. But it was so much more than just losing a job. It was losing that 5-year plan and that career. And now the past 6 months, I've been scrambling to, not only making an income and figuring out homeschooling for my son and sports and safety and everything. But I lost my purpose when I lost that job. And so I've had to like rediscover that in a 2020 COVID world. And I did. I started my own business, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. So it's, on one hand, it's like the sky's the limit, but on the other hand, it's like, but what else could happen that I'm trying to be prepared for. So I'm so excited for the group, because, I get super excited in the beginning and I sign up. I was telling Kelly, like, I made a binder and I downloaded all the stuff, and I was so excited. I got the app and I watched the video, but I have dogs, and I have a son, and I have a fiance, and life gets in the way, and I get in my own way, and I'm my own worst enemy. And I have a really hard time showing up for myself. I won't show up for myself. But if I make plans with you to go to the gym, I'll go to the gym because I told you I would go. And I know that you're there. So I'm hoping that, this group helps me just stay excited and continue and stay committed. Because I don't, as much as I love you, I love me too. And I want to be able to show up for myself more. I don't want to put my dreams and my passions on the back burner. Like I want, you know, I love everybody and I still will help you, but I also want to help me. So I'm hoping that the group helps me with that. Helps me stay accountable, and supportive. And, you know, we're not perfect. So there's going to be some days where we maybe only do the 3 to thrive instead of 5 to thrive, but that's okay. We're still here. And, you know, tomorrow's a new day. And so I'm over the moon. Thank you so much, Kelly, just for putting everything together. I'm super pumped.
I love it. I have to point out, you guys, one of the things, I hope this doesn't annoy y'all, because one of my passions, my purpose and passion is to help women like feel inspired by their own thing. So I just have to jump in and say to you, Jen, that we're all here for you. Like, we need you to show up for us, because I know that's going to make you show up for you. And if we can all commit to being here and to being there, you know, there's going to be days that you don't feel like showing up. And I love the fact that you said, you know what, some days it may be 3 out of 5. You may be doing 3 to thrive, you know. But the thing is it's like, it's okay. Do what you can. The next day is a new day, and to start it over again, and to truly be able to say, like, all right, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and my goal is to get back to 5. Who cares if I only did 3 today? Because tomorrow's a new day. Instead of taking the other route and saying, gosh, I didn't show up enough for myself today, so tomorrow I'm just not going to show up at all. And that's how we go down that path of, I'm not there for myself. And if you can just stay committed that a little is better than nothing, then we'll succeed. So Jen, you have to make a commitment to us, each one of us ladies on tonight, make a commitment that when you are feeling that way, you reach out to someone. You can reach out to me, girl, and you say, look, I'm feeling like I'm not showing up for myself right now. Can you freaking pull me up by my bootstraps? Like, that's the kind of group that I would love for us to be able to support, even if it's just, you know, us being here and holding each other accountable and sending each other, you know, uplifting messages and positive things on the post. I think it'll help us so much. So thanks for sharing your heart with us. And thanks for being there. Thanks for all you, I mean, we've already communicated so much. So I just appreciate you so much already.
Oh, thanks.
So does anybody else want to share? So I have a question. Amy, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I can share. So my with this is sorry, there's distractions behind me. I just really need to get back in the habit of making sure I work out. Like, because over the past, like, I used to be so good. I used to be like every single day I was like working out. The past few years, I've been building a business. So I just kind of like kept putting that on the back burner. And it seems like, I can't tell you how many times I've done this last 90 days. Like, I do it almost every year, and I've at least 3 times, if not more. I don't even know how many times Rachel's done it, but I've done it. And I get really focused on that. But for me, like, I need to keep going with it too. Like, because I usually end up stopping. Like, I get really good at it every now and then I stop. So, and one of my biggest goals this time around is to get myself back to being able to run a 5K. I used to be a big time runner, but I just recently moved. So I was living in Virginia, and I was a big time runner. I've been running for 10 years, but we just moved to Wyoming, and that changes the whole thing. I'm back to a beginner. So I need to make sure I'm doing weight training and running so that I can get back to being able to do it. Anyway, that's mine.
That's awesome, Amy. Marlene just put a book. That's awesome. Thank you, Marlene. Maria shared that her 5 to thrive is hydrating more, drinking your protein. So good. You know, one of the things, you guys, we could do it when I was hearing you, Amy, say that, one of the like tricks that I always play on myself to help hold myself accountable is to talk to my future self So what we should do, either do it now while we're on or do it when we hop off, is most of you all probably have a cell phone, I'm assuming, maybe an iPhone or an Android. Put yourself a reminder in your calendar for 3 weeks from now and say, you know, are you committed? And say something that inspires yourself, and set it as like a due date with an alarm that's going to go off, right? Because typically what happens is you're really excited the first week, you make it to 2 weeks, and then like the third week, maybe like, eh. And so that's what I think sometimes, Amy, makes it hard, is we just get out of the habit. It's like that one day turns into 2, and it's not the intention, but it just happens. And so maybe we should all just put a reminder in our phones for every other week or every 10 days or every week, how often you need it. This just reminds us to show up for the challenge and for the community. So thanks, Amy, for sharing. Anyone else want to share? So I do have a question for you guys, just like as the community like leader, I would love to know what do you need? Like, what can I help provide inside the community that you all need that will help you on this challenge? Like, is it, we'll have posts and like things from Rachel and just inspirational things going up, but are there anything that you guys specifically need? Like, oh my gosh, Kelly, if we had that in this group, it would be so amazing. Like, that's what I need to make sure I am successful. Does anybody have anything? Or if you don't have anything right now, will you think about it and send me a message? If it's something, you know, that you're really great at, I'm going to be like, can you do that? Because I want you to be able to show your talents also in there. But does anybody have any ideas or things that you know you need? The Zoom. Yep. Oh, great. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. So you guys like the Zoom. Awesome. We're going to be less shy next Sunday, though. I don't want to hear myself talk the whole time. Okay, so you guys like the Zooms. Awesome. All right, we'll put the emails in the units, the structure. Okay, waking up Zooms. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, good. All right, well, if you guys think of anything else that you see, or you're like going through the day and you're like, oh my gosh, if I could commit to this, it would be so helpful, then just shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll oh yeah, I know, mess up your day. I will tell you one of the tips, if you guys are calendar people or, you know, do time blocking or anything like that, writing it down in your calendar, like going and blocking, like saying 7:30 or 6:30 if you're central on your calendar, is a really great way just to make sure, like, okay, we're going to do dinner before or dinner after, going and putting it on there so you know you can show up. All right, so brainstorming ideas of how to meet these goals. I love that, Maria. So those of you who've been through it before, what are some things that have helped you make it through it? Even if you didn't make it the whole 90 days, like what helped you make it through the first month or anything like that? Yeah, does anybody want to share that? I love that, Rachel. Great idea, Rachel. Rachel says testimonies. I'm gonna write these down. Jen, is there a way you can get the video from the Rise app? Do you know? On setting goals?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You know what you may could do? I don't know if this is illegal. If it is, tell me. I wonder if you, it probably is illegal. I wonder if you could do the Plan app and screen record it on your phone and then upload it to the community.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely do that. But as far as, you know, the legal way, I'll just check the app as soon as we're off here and see what my options are. I know that the app is free to download and it comes with a 7-day free trial. But if you choose to, you know, continue doing it after that, I think it's $9.99 for the month. But it's also the same, I know because I took notes. So she has a podcast episode, I believe it was 72, also walks you through the exercise that the video did
Okay.
explain. And
Is that still up though? Because I went looking for that episode over a couple days ago, and it skipped over 72.
Did it? I'll look it up
no.
right now.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I didn't look at the podcast. I just watched the video. It's the very first video in the Rise app. Because I figured, it talks about setting up a plan, and I figured, well, I'm at the beginning, so I might as well set up a plan. And a lot of the, some of the things I knew, but some of the things and just the way that she worded it and put it together, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
It's back.
It's up.
It's back.
Awesome. Yes, well.
Ooh, I like what Sarah put about smart goal planning.
Yes.
Working on that.
Yeah, the smart, Sarah's so good. These, if in the little workbook, the Vision Cast workbook, there's a whole thing about the smart planning.
Oh, cool.
So you'll get to sort of be able to walk through that, which I think is it's just a great skill set to learn like for the rest of your life.
You can just Google SMART goal planning. Like VA, Department of Defense, puts out free PDFs for download. There's a lot of free coaching apps. So if I don't have the Rise app, but a lot of in the podcast is based off of, I think, that technique. So there's a lot of free stuff if you just Google it.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Amy, I posted the podcast episode inside the community in case you need it.
Cool.
All right. What else? Is the app worth it? I don't have the app, so I can't answer that. Jen, what do you think about the app?
I'm still in my trial. So I mean, it's definitely worth free. I can tell you that. I don't know, maybe give it another day or two and I can say for sure. Because I am trying to be very fiscally responsible right now. And I know, some people might say, oh, it's only $10, but that's things for my son that, I could be getting him. So I can definitely post something in the group, maybe another day or two from now. Cause I'm planning on trying to just watch as many videos as I can, and just get as much content as I can. Also in the app is like an accountability tracker. So each of the 5 to Thrive, each of your ingredients, you just check it off every single day. And then on the calendar, you can check your progress. So, a week from now or at the end of October, I can go back and say, okay, I had, 15 days in a row where I did all 5 of them because it's a rainbow on the calendar. Each 5 to Thrive has its own color. And then, there were 14 days where I missed everything. I did everything but purple. So I'm one of those people where I'm a list maker and I like to write things down and I like to check things off. It's not just doing the action that's enough for me. I need to do that check mark, or I need to do that X or that strike through. So I like having that in the app, but I also have all of my habits on a free app that's called Habit Tracker, which kind of does the same exact thing. So I guess it's just going to boil down to, are the videos and the content worth the $10 a month? Because I already have, a habit tracker, and I already have, there's a journal section, which I haven't even gotten into yet. There's also workouts that I haven't even gotten into yet. So, I mean, it might be a steal for $10 and I just don't know because I haven't had the chance to get into it yet. So there'll be more to come on that, I promise, once I have the time to kind of dive into it. But I mean, if anyone, if you can do the free trial, I definitely encourage you to do it because your experience will be different than mine. And I wouldn't want you to miss out on anything. So
yeah, I
Awesome.
tried the app as well. But I I canceled it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it would be great for beginners, anybody who's just like starting to work out. Because I looked at the workouts. I didn't really do the workouts. I looked at them, and they're very, very beginner basic. And I go to the gym, and I use the weights there. So it doesn't really help me to do the workouts. I was a little bit disappointed in some of the videos. There's one that I was really looking forward to with Trent, to listen to. Was you plugged in like 30 minutes, and I thought it'd be like him like talking to me the whole time, but he like talks for like 5 minutes, is like, okay, I'll let you walk at your, do your own thing, and I'll check back in with you. And then it's just like 10 minutes or 15 minutes later, he starts talking again. I'm like, okay, well, I really kind of wanted someone talking to me the whole time. So for me, I'd rather just listen to his podcast than to listen to that video in the app. And I use the planner. Oh my goodness. My kids just came in here. Okay. So, I use the planner to track everything. So everything that's in the app is also in the planner for checking things off. So for me, I'd rather just check it off in the book than to pay $10 just for the tracker. So I don't know. I think it might be good for some people, but I didn't personally care for it.
Okay. No, that's fair. Good reviews.
Yeah, I think it would be great for someone who's just starting to work out and is working out from home. Then the workouts would probably be better, for that person.
So Sarah just posted, thanks Sarah for the resource, posted a link about a simple version. So for SMART goal planning and doing while your podcasts. Sarah, are you okay if I post that in the community and like save it? Is that cool? Okay. Because I think once we get off the Zoom, the links will go away. So I'll post it, and that way you guys don't have to worry about copying it right now. So thank you for that. Oh, I like it. I'm looking at it now. It's very cool. Awesome. Yeah, you guys, if you don't listen to their podcast, Amy, I think it's a great thing that you brought up. The Rise podcast, and Rachel just changed her podcast name. I think now the podcast is called Rachel Hollis Podcast. And so, but they are really great, and you can look back and see specifically like what they're talking about. And so you can just go and find them, subscribe to it, and find something that, inspires you. And I would also encourage you to go back to last year, the last 90 days, and like listen to some of those things, right? Because I know that's when I was looking for things to post and everything. It's really helpful to go back to things that they said last year during, and then they did the next 90 days earlier in the year. And so those things are good. If you don't follow them on Instagram, Rachel doesn't talk a whole lot on her stories these days, but Dave is all on his stories. So, and I think a lot of times what he talks about is really insightful. I think it could be helpful to a lot of us.
It's porch time or back porch time, or tea
his
time.
Running, right? Like today he did like a really long run. Like I love when he does that. I think it's so super cool. So people just asking random questions. Say it again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that I always mean to listen to a podcast, but I guess I need to really write it down and make like a time to be like, I'm going to listen to the podcast on this in the morning or at night. I just always think I'll have time, and then I just end up doing something else. But I don't know, maybe if anyone has a habit that works for them, do they like listen to it before bed? Do they listen to it in the morning? I'm not used to listening to podcasts, so I was wondering how that works. How does everybody work that into their schedule?
I get in trouble for watching it too much.
Oh,
my husband's always complaining that I always have my headphones on, because I'm always like, I'll get up in the morning, I'll listen to a podcast, I'll be washing dishes, I'll be listening to a podcast, I'm folding laundry, I'm listening to a podcast. Like throughout the entire day, I hop in the car, I'm listening to a podcast. Like I actually have to remind myself it's okay to have silence every once in a while and to actually think about the things that I'm hearing. Because I'll I'll put too much in and then I get information overload. So yeah,
No, but doing it
I
during
would not
laundry,
so
that's
much
good.
follow that, like find a happy medium, but it is nice to do. I have yoga pants that have pockets in it. So when I'm folding laundry or washing dishes, it's awesome. It's an awesome way to pass time.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Build it into
Yeah.
something that, you're doing anyway. That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Doing anyway, and it's probably really boring. You're probably thinking about how much you don't want to do it. Yep.
Yeah. And who doesn't like yoga pants with pockets?
I know,
It's
right?
the only thing I want to wear anymore. I'm like, man, I need to buy more of these.
No, that's good. I appreciate that. Good idea.
Yeah.
Jessica, I don't know if you've ever heard of habit stacking, but I am obsessed with habit stacking, and it's basically like doing something just like what Amy was saying about like laundry and something else. So you always think of like something that you really don't love to do. And Amy, I don't know if you love to do laundry. I know I don't. So I'm like, okay, some like a chore or something that you don't love to do, like putting something that you really love to do with it. So
Ooh.
yeah. And so it's just called habit stacking. And it's just a great way. I know I listen to a podcast every day, at least one. And I always do it when I'm in the shower and when I'm getting ready. And I try to, and sometimes if they're longer, if they're like 45 minutes, I will try to listen to it. Usually I'll finish like 20 or 30 minutes and then I'll listen to it like maybe when I'm doing dishes or cooking, or I'll just take 10 minutes and go sit on the porch and finish it, and but I think sometimes starting in the morning, if you get into habit, like what Amy's saying, every time you do laundry, you listen, or something that you do on a regular basis, it will become a habit to you. And then you'll start becoming obsessed with podcasts. I'm definitely there. Sarah's shaking her head.
I'm obsessed. Yeah.
So we'll have to share some podcasts, you guys, inside the community. Like if you have some that you listen to,
Yeah,
share
for
them.
sure. Thanks. Habit
Yeah.
stacking. I like that.
How do you find
One of the things that I'm obsessed with lately is, I don't know if anybody follows The Rock on Instagram.
Mm-mm.
I go through phases of mixed feelings about it, because for a while I felt like it was too much marketing for his tequila and not close enough back to like the things I love about him. But he does this 5-song bit for Spotify every day now. But a couple of moments in the beginning, he gives like inspirational speeches. And I grew up with a football coach dad, so I like that like athlete mentality, like before running or something else. But it's like a small bite. So if you need something shorter, and you can skip through the songs, but usually it's like right up my alley, because it's like 90s like rock music, like the music I grew up listening to. So but he does like 1 or 2 minutes of like motivational like speechy type things, and then the playlist is available. And then if you have premium, you can skip through all the songs if you want to. And then he does like 1 to 2 minutes to sort of tie it in at the end also. So if you're looking for something like brief, you feel like you don't have a lot of time, I've been really enjoying those. I forget what it's called. I can't think of what it's called in the moment, but I think it's the only thing that he has on Spotify. And sometimes he'll share his workout list, but I like it. It was unexpected, but it's fun.
Thanks, Sarah. I just went and followed him. Awesome. All right, so we'll wrap up soon, you guys. But Suzanne asked, "How do you find good ones?" I don't know if there's like a technique for finding good podcasts. I know when I started listening to them, I really like to start my morning off with something, positive mind, something that I can learn to be better at my goals, maybe to be better at the things you're focused on this last 90 days. So you can actually search if there's like specific topics, but you can always go and search on Apple or Spotify. Those are the two that I listen to mostly. And for example, you can search any topics as well. So like I have 2 daughters who are tweens, and I need sometimes all the help I can get with knowing how to parent them. And so like if I'm ever going through certain situations, I will even look for podcasts about that, because I think it's really good to get, positive parenting advice. So you can just sort of Google in there. But also, you know what, Suzanne, like post on the group and ask what are good podcasts and let people just share them with you. I did that in a few communities when I was really looking, and people love to shout out their favorite podcasts and go and listen to an episode or not. If you love them, then subscribe and start listening. If not, then just move on. So I don't know. Does anybody else have a way that they like find the ones they love?
I think a really great way is if you listen to Lewis Howes' School of Greatness, because he has so many people that are on there. And also he has a lot of advertisements for other podcasts. So that's one way that I found a lot of podcasts is just listening and kind of following the rabbit trail. And then usually like when you find one that you like, they'll do an ad for something else and you just kind of keep going from there. Yeah, Lewis Howes, School of Greatness. So he has two. And I think both of them have podcast recommendations, but the School of Greatness will have a lot of other people on there. So you can see what they're like first, and then they'll, say if they have a podcast or not.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, let's close it out with just going around. If you're not in a place where you can talk and share, like just say hello and share where you're from. I know that some people maybe hopped on late and didn't get an opportunity to do that. So if you don't want to like share your screen, again, no pressure to like type in the chat. But if you want, just say like where you're from and if there's anything that you want to share about yourself. And then we'll conclude tonight and we'll rock it through our week and support each other amongst our community. And then we'll be back on again next Sunday. So Marlene, do you want to kick us off? I said your name right. Woo!
Almost.
Almost? Oh, I did it?
I'm telling you. Stop. It's a nightmare. Marlena.
Marlena. Oh, I got the first one right. Oh, dang it.
I'm sorry. I was trying to find a book for you that you need in your life for your tweens. So
thank you.
Someone else has to go because I didn't fully hear the question.
Oh, we're just saying like where we're from and if there's anything else you want to share.
So I'm from the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I work in the elementary school. And if anyone has tweens or teenagers, there's a book that just came out called Superpowered. It's about how to transform like anxiety into, it's so good. I wish I had it here right now, but I don't. But yeah, take a look at that. That's my book.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Who else wants to share?
I'll say hi again. I'm Sarah. I am from the Midwest, but I reside in a place called Rockland County, New York, like 25 miles north of New York City. So I've been here 5 years. I don't quite feel like a New Yorker, so I let people know where I'm from and where I currently live separately. I'm a psychologist. I work for the Department of Veterans Health Affairs, and this is my second time doing Last 90 Days. So I really love groups, and I love the supportive community and coming together. And I think I'm excited that we have a spot to do that in.
Thanks,
so hello,
Sarah.
everyone.
Okay, I'll go. I'm kind of opposite of Sarah. I'm from the East Coast, but I've moved to the Midwest, Cheyenne, Wyoming. We recently moved here in April during the pandemic. It was crazy. We were planning on doing it before the pandemic, but just how things worked out. But about, I guess, a year and a half ago, I started my business. I'm a reseller, and we basically did what Rachel did. We sold our house in Northern Virginia. We took the proceeds from that house and bought a house outright here in Cheyenne, so that we could just work for ourselves. So, and I did all of that starting with working on the habits of the last 90 days and the Start Today journal. So I'm a really big believer in that. I'm really glad that we're doing this as a community because it's the first time I've done it with people. Normally I'm just doing it by myself and I feel so lonely. So I'm really glad that we're doing this.
Thanks, Amy.
Of course, one of my kids is come here. I got a pit bull. She's one of my kids. She's bugging me.
Does anybody else want to share?
I will. I'm Jen and I'm in Massachusetts. And this is the second time that I've signed up for the last 90 days. I signed up in 2018, but I don't think I opened a single email. So this time I signed up and I'm doing it. I'm a recovery coach. I myself am in recovery for a few years now. And I am also an independent business owner, both of which are brand new. So things kind of changed with COVID. I was teaching in the middle school here in town, and when that ended and closed, everything kind of changed for me. So I'm loving working for myself. I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to be financially independent and have time freedom. And that's finally a possibility for me now, which is just incredible. But I also, I lack in the belief and self-confidence in myself. That's necessary to be your own business and to thrive. So I'm looking forward to getting that out of this group. And I just love meeting new people because I was stuck in my house for 6 months and I have pit bulls as well. I have 4 of them. And they don't talk back most days. So I didn't really have a lot of social interaction, to be honest with you, because when, school ended and my son's sports ended, as a mom, that was kind of all that I had, was living through him and chatting on the bleachers and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to just getting to know all you ladies and supporting you and having you support me, and I'm excited.
Thanks, Jen. Who else? Anybody else? No? Okay. I'm Kelly. I am from the South Carolina area, and I'm just excited to be on. This is my 3rd time doing the last 90 days, and I love it so much. I really love to be able to apply it not only just to the last 90 days, but to every 90 days. So I work for myself. I used to be in the pharmaceutical world, but I had a very rare brain tumor and rocked my world about 5 years ago. And when something like that happens, you really look at your life and where you want to go. And I realized that although I loved my career, I was really passionate about helping and serving people. It wasn't the route for me anymore. I wanted more time with my family. So I started working for myself. I just quit my job and started working for myself, and now have a health and wellness business. And I also have a coaching business that we have another community. Some of you may be a member of it. It's completely free, but it's just a lot of fun. So, but anyway, that's it. I'm just really glad to be on and connect with you all. Please, oh, thanks, Jen. You're so sweet. And Tina, I'm going to read Tina's really quick because I know that she typed in the comments and I don't want anybody to miss her comment. Tina's from Athens, Tennessee. She's a social media director for a log and timber home company. It's her first time doing it, and she had never heard of it until a friend shared it with you. So shout out to your friend. That's so great. You guys, thanks for being on tonight. I know that you're taking time away from other things that you could be doing. And I know myself, and I'm sure each and every one of you don't take that lightly when we have a group of ladies, total strangers, right? That we can come together and really support each other in this. So I'm happy. I'm going to be looking for you all to show up in the community and support each other and cheer each other on. And we'll see each other next Sunday. Again, if you guys have any ideas or you're like, I really want to share this, y'all reach out to me. And, we're just sort of not really winging it, but we're just all together as a community. And so I'll post the link in this as well, in case you have any friends that couldn't come on tonight, you can tag them under it. So y'all have a great week and kick butt. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good job.